These are my two new Quakers. Hey guys, I'm Kaylin, the author of the Parrot Bliss Bond, also the author of Get to Know African Greys and Cape Parrots. Two phenomenal species, of course. I love parrots. Parrots are my bliss, so I think like all of them are phenomenal. But I wrote a book on capes and greys because I do think that they're awesome. If you already have met Pretzel, then you're used to hanging out. Thank you guys for being here on my channel. This one is Cookie. Let's talk about what it's been like having two Quaker parrots. I wasn't in the market for a Quaker, but I really like being able to talk to you from experience about what a parrot is like. I like doing my research with my experts, knowing what like a proper diet is, what a proper lifestyle is for them and for you with them, so that you can have a blissful bond. For these reasons, I had gone to one of my favorite exotic bird stores where I get my bird food, and these guys really stood out. They were in a cage. There were like 5 or 6 of them, and there was just something about them. But I wasn't in the market. I went home, went back because the store is close by, and I was getting something else. These guys, my daughter and I were talking about Quakers, and I'm like, these seem bigger. They seem beautiful. I don't know. There's something about them. Went home. And then I'm like talking to my husband one morning at coffee, and I'm like, maybe I should get a Quaker, because some people ask me about Quakers and I can't speak to it. I don't like to research and just give you information, because like that information is based on someone else's information. And a lot of the times online, the information is just regurgitated and spit out. I love look at the way they're posed. I really like to talk with my experts if I can, get to really know the species, and then give you my experience so that you have a really good idea of what a parrot is like and whether or not it's the right parrot for you, or how to handle that particular species, because they're all very different. So my husband's like, do you want to go get a Quaker? And I'm like, maybe, yeah. We go and we got Pretzel. This one's Pretzel. Pretzel seemed really awesome. I have to tell you that neither of them have bitten me. They've beaked me. See, they'll beak me, but they don't bite me, which I think is so awesome. And then that day I'm like, I'd kind of like to be able to put Pretzel with someone, because parrots are social. They shouldn't be by themselves. But I don't know who I would put them with. Maybe I should get a Quaker for my Quaker. Now, if you know me, you know that I do that. I got a macaw for my macaw. And it was one of the best things that we did for our macaw. I do this. If my parrots don't have a bonded mate, unless they are someone like my female Indian ringneck, well, I still got her someone. Anyway, so lo and behold, Pretzel and Cookie. Now, Cookie's interesting. Cookie is a little more full of piss and vinegar. Seriously. Cookie's a little louder, a little more guarded, a little more not quite easygoing. And that's not to say that Pretzel isn't easygoing. But Pretzel's just a little like more mellow and sweet. So Cookie was a little bit of a surprise, but not much. They have both been phenomenal so far. I've only had them for like 2 weeks, almost 3 weeks. You can hear their noise level. They can be louder, but generally speaking, they're not too loud. We just went to lunch, and I'll have some footage. And they were pretty darn quiet actually at lunch. I tried offering them a little spinach soup, a little carrot, a little tea, and Pretzel nibbled at some. Cookie was on the counter kind of like going, where am I? What's going on? Leave me alone. You don't see me. I'm a little marbled, and I just blend into the marble counter. You don't see me. So anyway, kind of really cute. And so I would say what it's been like is kind of awesome. They, like I said, they don't bite, and they are social. This is a super social species, which means that you can see that they're bonded. You can see that they feed each other, they preen each other, and they don't really know me because I'm new to the flock. They are young, and they're from this season. So they're not like 2 months old. I think they're probably like maybe 4 months old, something like that. But I'm new to them, and yet they, I feel like they're like, okay, go slow, lady, keep your distance, and it'll be okay, because as long as I'm not too imposing and stuff, they hang out. They were clipped when I got them. I didn't have a choice. So it's not like, I mean, they could jump off of my shoulder, but it's not like they can go fly around or anything. But, they're doing pretty good. They're like, they seem pretty entertained. We just got home. They hear the rest of the flock, and they're being like, I think they're excited to be home. So, whoa, that was in my ear. That was in my ear. So they're doing really well. They're really fun so far. I really like them so far. I have been warned that, like, some people say they're phenomenal. Some people say they go through that bluffing stage. And when people talk about a bluffing stage, because it took me a while to kind of understand what people meant, they mean what I would call sort of like the terrible teenagers instead of the terrible twos. They have to learn the power of their bite. They have to kind of figure out who they are as a bird person. And so they go through a stage where they're a little like a wild teenager before they turn into a more calm, confident adult that knows you, knows things, knows life, knows what's going on, doesn't feel like they have to bite, that kind of thing. And so that's still coming, right? That those teenagers are still coming, kind of thing. But so far, other than sometimes being a little loud, I'm very pleased. I'm really glad I added them to my flock. They were an easy add because they weren't terribly expensive. They're an easy add because they're not like my macaw. Macaws just need so much space. We've decided that we don't, at least right now, we don't feel like we really have the room for a second macaw. Because, like I said, we got a macaw for our macaw, but she passed away. So if you're curious about that, you can do a search on how I'm coping with the loss of my macaw, and I talk about it there. But anyway, so they were really easy to add. When you have a flock with over 20 species, it's inconsequential. Like one more water bowl, one more food bowl, one more cage to clean, no biggie. And for me, they're low maintenance, but don't forget, guys, I have a flock. I have a big flock. And so when let's see, adding, for example, the galah, she's more high maintenance just because galahs aren't antisocial, but their social is different. So it's not like, oh, just get another galah and she'll be happy. When I brought Cookie home, and I put Cookie in the cage with Pretzel, they had been in the same cage at the store, so they knew each other. Pretzel's anxiety visibly dropped. Pretzel just looked happy. They just kind of connected like they're connecting now. And I was like, that was the right thing to do. They're happy. Them being happy doesn't mean that they won't bond with me if I spend the time with them. And so it was just the right choice. They're a set, a Pretzel and a Cookie. They're adorable. I'm thrilled. And so they've been easy. The galah, she's different. You could see my video on her. But with them, like, their food's easy. They've got each other for companionship. That's easy. They're just, for me, they're easy. I'm not saying parrots are easy. I'm not saying quakers are easy. I'm saying in a flock with over 20 species, they're easy. Because taking care of them just falls into line with everything else. Taking care of the galah is different. I have to meet her unique needs because she's just not quite so straightforward. So they are fantastic so far. At lunch, my mom and her husband are like, they're cute. They're beautiful, they're cute, they're sweet. We're off to a great start. So there's my Quakers. Because they're Quakers, I could probably have 3, but I like 2. I think 2 is a magical number for parrots. So this Quaker flock is complete, and there you go. Now, I will catch you in the next feathered video. If you enjoyed this, please be sure to like. If you loved it and it helped you in some way, you can always do a super thanks. If you have any questions or comments, please do so below. Those help my channel's juice. And then I will catch you in the next feathered video.